Pratiquez l'anglais tous les jours. Écoutez, parlez, entraînez-vous et améliorez vos compétences linguistiques avec nous.
Quand tu as fini, continue à t'exercer dans notre appli. C'est gratuit, lien en description.
Commencez à vous entraîner.
A software developer writes computer programs. A software developer writes computer programs.
Un développeur logiciel écrit des programmes informatiques.
A software developer writes computer programs. A software developer writes computer programs. She works as a software developer at a tech company. She works as a software developer at a tech company.
Elle travaille comme développeuse logicielle dans une entreprise technologique.
She works as a software developer at a tech company. She works as a software developer at a tech company. He designs apps for mobile phones. He designs apps for mobile phones.
Il conçoit des applications pour téléphone mobile.
He designs apps for mobile phones. He designs apps for mobile phones. They build websites for clients. They build websites for clients.
Il crée des sites web pour des clients.
They build websites for clients. They build websites for clients. Software developers use different programming languages. Software developers use different programming languages.
Les développeurs logiciels utilisent différents langages de programmation.
Software developers use different programming languages. Software developers use different programming languages. He writes code every day. He writes code every day.
Il écrit du code tous les jours.
He writes code every day. He writes code every day. She enjoys solving problems with code. She enjoys solving problems with code.
Elle aime résoudre des problèmes avec du code.
She enjoys solving problems with code. She enjoys solving problems with code. They fix bugs in the software. They fix bugs in the software.
Il corrige les bugs dans le logiciel.
They fix bugs in the software. They fix bugs in the software. He tests the program before releasing it. He tests the program before releasing it.
Il teste le programme avant de le publier.
He tests the program before releasing it. He tests the program before releasing it. Developers often work in teams. Developers often work in teams.
Les développeurs travaillent souvent en équipe.
Developers often work in teams. Developers often work in teams. She learned to code in college. She learned to code in college.
Elle a appris à coder à l'université.
She learned to code in college. She learned to code in college. He is learning Python. He is learning Python.
Il apprend le Python.
He is learning Python. He is learning Python. They use JavaScript for web development. They use JavaScript for web development.
Ils utilisent JavaScript pour le développement web.
They use JavaScript for web development. They use JavaScript for web development. She builds mobile apps using Swift. She builds mobile apps using Swift.
Elle crée des applications mobiles avec Swift.
She builds mobile apps using Swift. She builds mobile apps using Swift. He updates the old software. He updates the old software.
Il met à jour l'ancien logiciel.
He updates the old software. He updates the old software. They create new features for the app. They create new features for the app.
Il crée de nouvelles fonctionnalités pour l'application.
They create new features for the app. They create new features for the app. She works from home as a developer. She works from home as a developer.
Elle travaille à domicile en tant que développeuse.
She works from home as a developer. She works from home as a developer. He uses Git to manage code. He uses Git to manage code.
Il utilise Git pour gérer le code.
He uses Git to manage code. He uses Git to manage code. They push code to the repository. They push code to the repository.
Ils envoient du code dans le dépôt.
They push code to the repository. They push code to the repository. She checks the code for errors. She checks the code for errors.
Elle vérifie le code pour détecter les erreurs.
She checks the code for errors. She checks the code for errors. He writes clean and readable code. He writes clean and readable code.
Il écrit du code propre et lisible.
He writes clean and readable code. He writes clean and readable code. They follow best coding practices. They follow best coding practices.
Ils suivent les meilleures pratiques de codage.
They follow best coding practices. They follow best coding practices. She collaborates with other developers. She collaborates with other developers.
Elle collabore avec d'autres développeurs.
She collaborates with other developers. She collaborates with other developers. He attends online coding boot camps. He attends online coding boot camps.
Il suit des bootcamps de codage en ligne.
He attends online coding boot camps. He attends online coding boot camps. They use agile development methods. They use agile development methods.
Ils utilisent des méthodes de développement agile.
They use agile development methods. They use agile development methods. She participates in daily stand-up meetings. She participates in daily stand-up meetings.
Elle participe aux réunions quotidiennes.
She participates in daily stand-up meetings. She participates in daily stand-up meetings. He reviews his teammates' code. He reviews his teammates' code.
Il relit le code de ses coéquipiers.
He reviews his teammates' code. He reviews his teammates' code. They deploy the app to the server. They deploy the app to the server.
Il déploie l'application sur le serveur.
They deploy the app to the server. They deploy the app to the server. She monitors the performance of the application. She monitors the performance of the application.
Elle surveille les performances de l'application.
She monitors the performance of the application. She monitors the performance of the application. He optimizes the code for speed. He optimizes the code for speed.
Il optimise le code pour la vitesse.
He optimizes the code for speed. He optimizes the code for speed. They use debugging tools to find issues. They use debugging tools to find issues.
Ils utilisent des outils de débogage pour trouver les problèmes.
They use debugging tools to find issues. They use debugging tools to find issues. She writes unit tests for the code. She writes unit tests for the code.
Elle écrit des tests unitaires pour le code.
She writes unit tests for the code. She writes unit tests for the code. He uses version control systems. He uses version control systems.
Il utilise des systèmes de contrôle de version.
He uses version control systems. He uses version control systems. They use GitHub to share code. They use GitHub to share code.
Ils utilisent GitHub pour partager le code.
They use GitHub to share code. They use GitHub to share code. She commits her changes regularly. She commits her changes regularly.
Elle enregistre régulièrement ses modifications.
She commits her changes regularly. She commits her changes regularly. He merges branches on the project. He merges branches on the project.
Il fusionne les branches du projet.
He merges branches on the project. He merges branches on the project. They work on both front-end and back-end. They work on both front-end and back-end.
Ils travaillent à la fois sur le front-end et le back-end.
They work on both front-end and back-end. They work on both front-end and back-end. She specializes in front-end development. She specializes in front-end development.
Elle est spécialisée dans le développement front-end.
She specializes in front-end development. She specializes in front-end development. He focuses on back-end systems. He focuses on back-end systems.
Il se concentre sur les systèmes back-end.
He focuses on back-end systems. He focuses on back-end systems. They use databases to store data. They use databases to store data.
Ils utilisent des bases de données pour stocker les données.
They use databases to store data. They use databases to store data. She writes SQL queries. She writes SQL queries.
Elle écrit des requêtes SQL.
She writes SQL queries. She writes SQL queries. He connects the website to the database. He connects the website to the database.
Il connecte le site web à la base de données.
He connects the website to the database. He connects the website to the database. They use APIs to communicate between systems. They use APIs to communicate between systems.
Ils utilisent des API pour communiquer entre les systèmes.
They use APIs to communicate between systems. They use APIs to communicate between systems. She integrates third-party services. She integrates third-party services.
Elle intègre des services tiers.
She integrates third-party services. She integrates third-party services. He creates user-friendly interfaces. He creates user-friendly interfaces.
Il crée des interfaces conviviales.
He creates user-friendly interfaces. He creates user-friendly interfaces. They design responsive layouts. They design responsive layouts.
Ils conçoivent des mises en page responsives.
They design responsive layouts. They design responsive layouts. She uses HTML and CSS. She uses HTML and CSS.
Elle utilise HTML et CSS.
She uses HTML and CSS. She uses HTML and CSS. He builds dynamic pages with JavaScript. He builds dynamic pages with JavaScript.
Il crée des pages dynamiques avec JavaScript.
He builds dynamic pages with JavaScript. He builds dynamic pages with JavaScript. They test the app on different devices. They test the app on different devices.
Ils testent l'application sur différents appareils.
They test the app on different devices. They test the app on different devices. She reports bugs to the development team. She reports bugs to the development team.
Elle signale les bugs à l'équipe de développement.
She reports bugs to the development team. She reports bugs to the development team. He writes documentation for the code. He writes documentation for the code.
Il écrit la documentation du code.
He writes documentation for the code. He writes documentation for the code. They attend software development conferences. They attend software development conferences.
Ils assistent à des conférences sur le développement logiciel.
They attend software development conferences. They attend software development conferences. She reads tech blogs to stay updated. She reads tech blogs to stay updated.
Elle lit des blogs technologiques pour rester à jour.
She reads tech blogs to stay updated. She reads tech blogs to stay updated. He contributes to open source projects. He contributes to open source projects.
Il contribue à des projets open source.
He contributes to open source projects. He contributes to open source projects. They mentor junior developers. They mentor junior developers.
Il mentore des développeurs juniors.
They mentor junior developers. They mentor junior developers. She studies computer science. She studies computer science.
Elle étudie l'informatique.
She studies computer science. She studies computer science. He has a degree in software engineering. He has a degree in software engineering.
Il a un diplôme en ingénierie logicielle.
He has a degree in software engineering. He has a degree in software engineering. They joined a developer community. They joined a developer community.
Ils ont rejoint une communauté de développeurs.
They joined a developer community. They joined a developer community. She works on freelance projects. She works on freelance projects.
Elle travaille sur des projets en freelance.
She works on freelance projects. She works on freelance projects. He finds clients online. He finds clients online.
Il trouve des clients en ligne.
He finds clients online. He finds clients online. They estimate time for each task. They estimate time for each task.
Ils estiment le temps nécessaire pour chaque tâche.
They estimate time for each task. They estimate time for each task. She uses Trello to track her progress. She uses Trello to track her progress.
Elle utilise Trello pour suivre ses progrès.
She uses Trello to track her progress. She uses Trello to track her progress. He sets goals for his coding projects. He sets goals for his coding projects.
Il fixe des objectifs pour ses projets de codage.
He sets goals for his coding projects. He sets goals for his coding projects. They meet deadlines for software releases. They meet deadlines for software releases.
Il respecte les délais de publication des logiciels.
They meet deadlines for software releases. They meet deadlines for software releases. She enjoys building useful tools. She enjoys building useful tools.
Elle aime créer des outils utiles.
She enjoys building useful tools. She enjoys building useful tools. He solves real-world problems with code. He solves real-world problems with code.
Il résout des problèmes concrets avec du code.
He solves real-world problems with code. He solves real-world problems with code. They write scripts to automate tasks. They write scripts to automate tasks.
Ils écrivent des scripts pour automatiser des tâches.
They write scripts to automate tasks. They write scripts to automate tasks. She uses a code editor like versus code. She uses a code editor like versus code.
Elle utilise un éditeur de code comme versus code.
She uses a code editor like versus code. She uses a code editor like versus code. He customizes his development environment. He customizes his development environment.
Il personnalise son environnement de développement.
He customizes his development environment. He customizes his development environment. They install software libraries. They install software libraries.
Ils installent des bibliothèques logicielles.
They install software libraries. They install software libraries. She uses frameworks like React. She uses frameworks like React.
Elle utilise des frameworks comme React.
She uses frameworks like React. She uses frameworks like React. He builds RESTful APIs. He builds RESTful APIs.
Il crée des API RESTful.
He builds RESTful APIs. He builds RESTful APIs. They test new features before launch. They test new features before launch.
Il teste les nouvelles fonctionnalités avant le lancement.
They test new features before launch. They test new features before launch. She logs errors for debugging. She logs errors for debugging.
Elle enregistre les erreurs pour le débogage.
She logs errors for debugging. She logs errors for debugging. He improves the user experience. He improves the user experience.
Il améliore l'expérience utilisateur.
He improves the user experience. He improves the user experience. They gather feedback from users. They gather feedback from users.
Il recueille les retours des utilisateurs.
They gather feedback from users. They gather feedback from users. She updates the UI based on feedback. She updates the UI based on feedback.
Elle met à jour l'interface utilisateur en fonction des retours.
She updates the UI based on feedback. She updates the UI based on feedback. He uses cloud services for deployment. He uses cloud services for deployment.
Il utilise des services cloud pour le déploiement.
He uses cloud services for deployment. He uses cloud services for deployment. They learn from online tutorials. They learn from online tutorials.
Ils apprennent grâce à des tutoriels en ligne.
They learn from online tutorials. They learn from online tutorials. She follows industry trends. She follows industry trends.
Elle suit les tendances du secteur.
She follows industry trends. She follows industry trends. He attends virtual coding meetups. He attends virtual coding meetups.
Il participe à des rencontres virtuelles de codage.
He attends virtual coding meetups. He attends virtual coding meetups. They use Slack to communicate. They use Slack to communicate.
Ils utilisent Slack pour communiquer.
They use Slack to communicate. They use Slack to communicate. She shares code snippets with the team. She shares code snippets with the team.
Elle partage des extraits de code avec l'équipe.
She shares code snippets with the team. She shares code snippets with the team. He discusses problems with colleagues. He discusses problems with colleagues.
Il discute des problèmes avec ses collègues.
He discusses problems with colleagues. He discusses problems with colleagues. They plan sprints and tasks. They plan sprints and tasks.
Il planifie les sprints et les tâches.
They plan sprints and tasks. They plan sprints and tasks. She tracks bugs in a ticket system. She tracks bugs in a ticket system.
Elle suit les bugs dans un système de tickets.
She tracks bugs in a ticket system. She tracks bugs in a ticket system. He uses Jira for project management. He uses Jira for project management.
Il utilise Jira pour la gestion de projet.
He uses Jira for project management. He uses Jira for project management. They update the product roadmap. They update the product roadmap.
Ils mettent à jour la feuille de route du produit.
They update the product roadmap. They update the product roadmap. She creates wireframes for new features. She creates wireframes for new features.
Elle crée des maquettes pour les nouvelles fonctionnalités.
She creates wireframes for new features. She creates wireframes for new features. He collaborates with designers. He collaborates with designers.
Il collabore avec des designers.
He collaborates with designers. He collaborates with designers. They work with product managers. They work with product managers.
Il travaille avec des chefs de produits.
They work with product managers. They work with product managers. She attends planning meetings. She attends planning meetings.
Elle assiste aux réunions de planification.
She attends planning meetings. She attends planning meetings. He documents the software architecture. He documents the software architecture.
Il documente l'architecture logicielle.
He documents the software architecture. He documents the software architecture.
Merci de votre visionnage. Abonnez-vous à notre chaîne et activez les notifications pour recevoir nos nouvelles vidéos et poursuivre votre voyage d'apprentissage de l'anglais.